My friend gave me bare minimum effort planning our trip, so I left her there. Morgan and I had been best friends since college. We'd been talking about doing a Europe trip together for years, and we finally decided to do it. We agreed to split everything 50-50. I'd plan the flights, she'd plan the hotels. Simple enough. We made this deal in January, and our trip was in August, so we had 7 months to get ready. I got to work immediately. I made a spreadsheet with deadlines and sent it to her. She replied back almost instantly with, "Yeah, I got this. Don't worry." That made me feel relieved. I booked our flights in February, got us great seats together, and texted her the confirmation. She responded with 3 exclamation points saying, "Awesome, I'll get the hotels sorted this week." That week came and went, then another week, then another. I'd check in about the hotels and she'd say, "I'm working on it," or "I'll do it this weekend, I promise." I kept trusting her because we'd been friends for so long and she'd never let me down like this before. But as the weeks turned into months, something started to feel wrong. I just didn't know how bad it was about to get. The excuses kept coming. She was busy with work, she was comparing prices, she'd do it next week. I kept checking in and she kept putting me off. Every time I'd ask, she'd promise it was happening soon, but nothing ever changed. When we got down to 2 months before the trip, the panic was setting in hard. I texted her asking, "Can you please show me your hotel confirmations?" She sent me screenshots of hotels just sitting in her shopping cart, not actually booked. The panic turned into full-blown anxiety, and I called her immediately. My voice came out all high and shaky when I said, "Morgan, these aren't booked. You need to book them right now." She let out this long, annoyed sigh like I was bothering her and said, Okay, I'll do it tonight." The next day I followed up, and after a long pause she told me, "The website crashed when I tried to pay." I could barely breathe and told her to try a different website. She said she would in this flat, unbothered voice, but nothing happened. We got down to 1 month before the trip. I was waking up nauseous every morning thinking about it and told her, "We need to book everything right now or we'll have nowhere to sleep." She actually agreed to meet me at a coffee shop on Saturday to do it together, and I thought maybe this would finally happen. I showed up 30 minutes early with my laptop, charger, and a backup list of hotels. I waited an hour watching the door every time it opened, then 2 hours while my coffee went cold. She finally walked in with no laptop, no bag, nothing. I just stared at her in disbelief and asked, "Where's your laptop?" She glanced around like she just realized something and said, "Oh no, I totally forgot it at home. Can we reschedule?" A wave of anger washed over me and my jaw clenched so hard my teeth hurt. I asked her, "Morgan, have you booked anything at all for this entire trip? Anything?" She shrugged like it was no big deal and said, "No, but it'll be fine. We can just figure it out when we land." The anger kept building because how could she be this careless? I told her, "That's not how Europe works in August. Everything books up months in advance." She waved her hand dismissively at me and said, "You're stressing way too much. Spontaneous trips are more fun anyway." I realized sitting in that coffee shop, watching her smile like nothing was wrong, that she was never going to book anything. She didn't care at all. I went home completely defeated and quietly finished booking backup hotels for just myself. I didn't tell her. I just prepared for the disaster I knew was coming. The morning of our flight arrives and I get to the airport 3 hours early. Morgan texts saying, "Running late, traffic." She shows up an hour before boarding, completely frazzled with 2 massive suitcases. We rush through security, and at the gate she says casually, "Oh, I forgot to renew my passport." The floor disappears under me. She pulls it out. I look at the expiration date with shaking hands. It had been expired for 2 months. I ask, "Morgan, how did you not notice this was expired?" She says, "I kept meaning to check, but I forgot." The gate agent shakes her head. "I'm sorry, but you can't board with an expired passport." Morgan begs, "Please, there has to be something you can do." The agent says, "I'm sorry, it's international law." Morgan whips around to me with mascara streaking down her cheeks. "What are we going to do?" I hand her passport back. "I'm getting on this flight. You need to handle this yourself." Her tears stop and her eyes go cold. "Are you serious right now? You're just going to abandon me?" People are staring. I stay calm. "I did everything right. You did nothing. That's not my problem." She grabs my arm hard. "Cancel everything." I yank my arm away. "No." The gate agent calls final boarding. I grab my bag. Morgan is screaming, "I'll never forgive you for this." I walk to the gate and don't look back. Morgan blamed me online for ruining the trip. She got fired for missing work while stuck at the airport. She blamed me for that too.